In this video, we're going to be looking at how you can change the look of your sprite or your backdrop. To do that, you're going to look at the look blocks. Makes sense, doesn't it? These purple blocks change how things look. Right now, I have the sprite selected, and you'll see it's a fairly long list of different types of blocks of code I could use. If I click the stage, a shorter list appears. If you're ever looking for something and can't find it, make sure that you have the correct thing selected. If you have the stage selected, it will have things specific to how you can change how your stage looks. If you have a sprite selected, there's a lot more things you can do to change how your sprite looks. Today, my sprite is named Pico, and we're going to be looking at how we can change his size. So go ahead, scroll down, and you'll see about halfway down there's a block called Change Size By. Pull it on up. It defaults to the number 10, change size by 10. Watch what happens when I click it. Oh, he got a little bit bigger. However, I can go in and type and change the number. So let's say instead of 10, I'll put in 50. Watch what happens now. Bam! He got a lot bigger, a lot faster. I can put in any number to change and make him as big as you want. But what if I don't want to make him big? What if I want a teeny tiny Pico? You can do that in Scratch too. The difference is you're going to be using negative numbers, or numbers smaller than 0. Negative numbers always have a minus sign in front of them. You'll see your minus sign is next to the 0 key on your keyboard. So go ahead and type that in, and then you would put in any number just like you normally would. So we'll say negative 30. Watch what happens now. Oh, he got a little bit smaller. It may happen sometimes that, as fun as it is to change the size, you don't necessarily want it to happen on screen during your animation. You just want to start off with a bigger or smaller sprite. In order to do that, you would come down to this next block of code right below Change Size By. It's called Set Size to, and it always defaults to 100%. If you set size to 100%, it always starts your sprite off at whatever size it naturally is. It's at 100% its natural size. If you want to make Pico smaller, you would choose a number smaller than 100, like so. I've set him to 50%. He'll be half as small. There he is, a Pico half the size that he originally was. And if I put this up, he would just start out right here at that size. Here he is at his default size again. What if I want to just start him out as a really big Pico? You've probably guessed, but we put in a number bigger than 100. Watch what happens. And he'll just naturally start out at that size. You can change Pico other ways besides just his size. So let's return him back to how big he normally is and take a look at some other pieces of code. Up above Set Size and Change Size, you're going to see 3 blocks of code: Clear Graphic Effects, Set Color, and Change Color. You've probably noticed by now that things that say set blank to means they'll just start out this way. Change color means, of course, they're starting out as they originally are and change. So change color effect by 25. Watch what happens when I click it. Oh, Pico changed color. I can go in and change this number to anything I want. And that is something you can kind of mess with to see. You get different amounts of change based off of what number is in there. Say it turns out after I've played with it for a little while, I really don't want a lime green Pico. I want him back to his original orange color. That's where this block comes in, Clear Graphic Effects. When I click it, he reverts back to his normal self. The other neat thing you can do is you aren't just changing color, but there's a little drop tab here when you click the black arrow, and there's a whole list of things you can do. Color, fisheye, whirl, pixelate, mosaic, brightness, and ghost. Fisheye kind of makes him look like he's got a giant bubble happening to him. Ooh, clear that graphic effect. If I come down here, whirl, you'll see, looks like he's basically water being swirled with a straw. And he can get more and more swirled as you click. Down here, pixelate means he's going to become more and more grainy over time. If you choose to do mosaic, let's clear our graphic effect here. If you choose to do mosaic, you'll see he gets smaller and multiplies. The more you do it, the smaller and more number of picos you get. Brightness, of course, makes your pico brighter until eventually he'll just turn into complete white. Last but not least is ghost. Basically, it's going to make your pico or any sprite more transparent until eventually you can hardly see them at all. Set just means you're going to start out that way. So if I want to set pixelation effect to 0, well, watch what happens. That's right, nothing. But if I go in and change that number, and I click it, he'll automatically start out as the slightly blurry looking pico. Feel free to play with your looks. They can often add very interesting effects to your sprites. The other two types of blocks we learned today were set size and change size. So you can make your sprite bigger or smaller, change the color, or add any number of crazy effects to get him looking just the way you like. Good luck and have fun!